Hey, this is Boulevard Broken, and this is a tutorial for the module Melodic Message. So this is a neat little module, actually, I really like it. And if you don't know what it looks like, it's your piano module. It has 3 notes at the top, and you can interact with the keys pretty much freely, and not get a strike or submit anything, so that's nice. So, the point of this module, shut up. The point of this module is it's kind of a puzzle where there is a word hidden inside of these keys, and each key gives you 3 pieces of information about either the puzzle or submitting it. So, for example, while the lights are out, let me explain kind of what it'll give. One will give one of 3 pieces of information. It'll give what the key will do in submission, what letter it'll submit while we're in submit mode. It will give a hint for a letter that is or isn't in the final submitted word. And finally, it'll give you whether the extra hint that I just mentioned is or isn't in the word. This will make more sense as we go on. But for example, here, this is a real note compared to this, which is a fake note. Now, a real note will play its own noise. So this is playing a C sharp. While a fake note will always play this noise. So this is played a D sharp. And these are all playing the fake noise. Now, this note, when I press it, it will either submit an I or a J when we're in submit mode, which is after we press these 3 keys up here. And it also tells me, since this is a real note, that either I or J is in the word we need to submit. Okay? For example, this will either submit kilo or uniform. And, in addition, one of these letters is not in our word because this is a fake key, essentially. And for the read, we will be getting all this information for all of these keys. Now, I've been skipping over one key, the first key, our C key, because this is a special key. This gives only only one piece of information, that when I press C in submit mode, it gives us a tango. It doesn't seem that useful for solving the module, but as you'll see as we go ahead, this is actually the most important key for solving the module. But anyways, let's get ahead with the read. I like to just write everything out. So we have a tango from our C, and I can just remember the order in terms of keys. Our second note is Julia India. This is real. This is a fake uniform kilo. So I like to put an exclamation point in front of it to signify that it's fake. So we have a fake uniform kilo, a real India Papa, real Alpha November, a fake Whiskey November. The order in which these letters are shown, they do not matter. It switches around randomly. So we have a fake Whiskey November, a fake Juliet Alpha, fake Whiskey Mike, a fake Kilo Charlie, a real X-Ray Charlie. Now, something to note with this module is the font is a very interesting decision. And X-Ray and Kilo look very similar. And Hotel, to add on to that. X-Ray, Kilo, and Hotel look very similar. So if you messed up somewhere, or not everything's adding up, make sure to ask your diffuser or yourself, if you're exhibiting for yourself, if you checked for that. Anyways, back to it. We have our Charlie X-Ray. We have a real uniform Mike. Finally, a real Tango Papa. With this, we should have 5 fake keys with our exclamation points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 real keys. Yep, that's what we want. And finally our solo key. Now, with this information, our solo key only tells us what it will submit. So in my submit column, our C will get a tango. Now, well, how do we tell which goes which in the rest of them? Well, if you notice here, there is exactly 2 tangos. One here on our C key and one here on our B key. And something important in the manual is that 2 keys cannot submit the same letter. So, this would not be allowed. Both of them can't submit tango, so this one has to submit papa, and this means that we have a tango in our word. This was not a fake hint, so when we're looking in our hint column, tango is a real letter. It's a letter in our word. Next, how do we go forward? Well, we continue. There are 2 papas. We already had our T repeat. There are 2 papas. That's our C, C sharp, D, and that's our D sharp. Papa can't be in submit because we can't have it twice, so it has to be India submit. And since it's not fake, we know that papa is also a letter in our word. And we can continue. Juliet and India. Back in C sharp, and then Juliet alpha looks like C, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp. And so we've reached our first fake key. Now since this was fake, let's see, that was F sharp, so this played a fake noise. That means that the hint it gave us, which has to be Juliet, because we can't have 2 things submitting Juliet, is not in our word. So right now we have Papa, India, and Tango in our word, and Juliet not in our word. So let's continue. Where's our alpha? November alpha, where's our November? Don't have a November in our word. Where's our whiskey? No whiskey. Where's our mic? Uniform mic. Mic is in there. Uniform is back at our D key. It's going to be kilo with no uniform. And then, yeah, we have Kilo Charlie after that, so that's going to be Charlie with no kilo. And we have, as our final one, this will submit X-ray, and we do have a Charlie in our word. Now, the X-ray is extraneous because we have duplicates for all of them. But since we had one that only had a submit, we have one extraneous over here, which is an X-ray. It's not a valid letter. But, you know, if you really want to submit X-ray, X marks the spot, whatever, you can really hit A during submit. You'll strike, but who cares? Anyways, so now that we have all of our kind of keys lined up, we know what every key submits, but more importantly, we know what letters are in our word. We have India, Papa, Alpha, Charlie, Mike, Tango. And now we have to scramble this. I'm going to stare at this for a minute. Hopefully I can find it. I bet most of you are screaming at me that you already found it, but give me a minute, I'm a little slow at this. There's a jump cut here, it took me like 20 minutes to find it. Wow, can I really not find it? It's kind of embarrassing when I'm doing the tutorial. Wait, okay, I found it. That one was a little hard to find, but usually they're easier. I swear I do these faster than like 2 years. But yeah, our word was impact. That makes sense. That is a word. It's 6 letters, and it's probably in the English dictionary if I were to guess. But yeah, that's our word. Perfect. So we got our letters from our hints. We went from this to this. And by the way, I didn't cover this by then, but it makes it very helpful to write out all of the keys on a keyboard, or a piano rather, just for organization's sake. And you don't need the sub and hint at the top, but it made my point easier to get across. Anyways, so yeah, we have our word impact, and that's a word. So now we have to get to submitting it. So we enter submission mode, we're gonna hit these keys, so golf sharp, Bravo sharp, I guess that's just Charlie, yep, and a delta. And you have entered submission mode when the top screen just turns black. It no longer tells you how to enter submission mode. So now that we're in submission mode, what are we doing? Well, you see that in our first column, we already know what key submits what. So if we want to submit impact, we would first want a D sharp, and then we will want, where are you? Golf, and then Papa is B, Alpha is going to be F sharp, Charlie's going to be G sharp, and finally T is going to be the first hint we got, the first submit we got rather, Charlie. So now, if we hit those in that order, D sharp, G, B, F sharp, G sharp, and C should spell out impact. Thank you very much. Hope you learned.